Hi, welcome everybody. So my name is Colin Campbell, and I'm super excited to be here today for a webinar on the new JAR special issue called AI and the Future of Advertising Creativity. So a super interesting topic and very important as we see all the changes that are coming with AI. And I'm joined today with our two guest editors. And first up, I'd like to introduce Yung Kyun Choi. He's a professor in the Department of Advertising and Public Relations at Dongguk University in Seoul, and he's taught there since 2001. His research looks at advertising effects and consumer behavior in digital media, including social media, mobile platforms, and AR and VR, along with cross-cultural advertising effects and message congruency. And he's also served as the leader of two of Korea's major scholarly associations as well as the president of the Korean Advertising Society. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Young Kyun.
Hello, my name is Yung Kyun Choi. I'm from Dongguk University. It is my great pleasure to work as a guest editor with Tae Hyun for this special issue. And I expect a lot of good submissions from all of you. Thank you.
Awesome. It's
All
great to
right.
have you.
All
And
right. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
next up, we have Tae Hyun Baek as well too, and he's a professor in the Department of Media and Communication at Sungkyunkwan University in Seoul, and where he also directs the AdX lab. His research covers digital advertising, consumer responses to AI, ad psychology, and branding, and he uses a mix of experimental and computational methods. He's published over 78 peer-reviewed journal articles as well, and he's also one of our AEs here at the Journal of Advertising Research. So thank you so much for being a guest editor as well too, Tay, and thank you for being here today.
All right. That's awesome. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I'll turn it over to you folks. So tell us more about the special issue, what you're kind of looking for with submissions, and also, all the great ideas you have for potential things people might want to be researching and submitting to the special issue.
Okay. Youngkyun, are you ready?
Okay, yeah. Today, Tae Hyun and I will introduce the JAR special issue that is AI and the future of advertising creativity. We will spend approximately about 27 minutes to explain why this topic is important and what kind of paper or research questions we are interested in. And also, I will explain how to submit to Global Marketing Conference and also the Journal of Advertising Research. And the rest of the time, that will be about 10 to 12 minutes, we will have a question and answer session. Okay. So 4 questions we are interested in as first, why do we have interest in this topic now? Because why does generative AI or agentic AI create a sufficiently important change in the advertising creative industry? And secondly, we will explain the core include many possible topics that we will organize them into 3 larger domains: how creative work is performed, and how it is organized and valued, and how it is evaluated. Third, what makes a paper competitive? The relevant qualification is that the manuscript should make a clear theoretical contribution. It should address a consequential advertising problem and should be able to provide evidence that will be strong enough to support useful recommendations. Finally, how the authors submit, we will explain the relationship between the 2027 Global Marketing Conference in Tokyo and the later JER special issue submission. These are connected, but they are not the same review process. So as you can see in this picture, there is a person directing the creative process. And on the other side, there is a rapidly expanding field of possible visual output from AI. So it indicates person and AI work together to produce output. Advertising creativity has traditionally been constrained by production time, specialist labor, and the cost of testing alternatives. Generative AI reduce some of those constraints that create enormous opportunity, but it also makes selection, judgment, and strategic coherence more important. Before discussing the economics in detail, we should therefore clarify what we mean by creativity in this context. So what does creativity mean in the age of AI? Creativity also expresses human values, identity, and voice. Every campaign reflects choice, what the brand wants to say, how it understands its audience, and what kind of relationship it wants to build between consumers and the brand. AI can help generate execution, but people still shape the meaning behind it. This makes human judgment more important, not less important, as AI enables almost anyone to produce polished content quickly. Simply creating a professional-looking advertisement is no longer enough. The real value lies in defining the right problem, recognizing a distinctive idea, selecting the strong execution, and preserving a consistent brand identity. Therefore, we welcome research that goes beyond asking whether AI can produce creative content. We are especially interested in how human and AI share creative responsibility, how audience respond to AI-assisted work, and how AI changes authorship, identity, judgment, and the meaning of creative itself. So for most of the advertising history, creative production has been relatively slow, scarce, and expensive. A campaign moved from the brief to idea, then to copy, design, production, and adaptation. Because every additional execution requires time and money, brand had to limit how many ideas they explored and how many audience or market variations they produced. Generative AI is collapsing some of these constraints. Copy, visual concept, storyboard, video draft, and a large number of message variants can now be generated in a minute. But this does not mean that effective advertising creativity becomes automatic. AI can generate many possibilities, but it cannot guarantee that those possibilities are strategically relevant, distinctive, or right for their brand. As production becomes faster and less expensive, the source of creative value shifts. The most important capabilities may no longer be simply producing an execution. They may be defining the right problem, giving clear direction, recognizing a strong idea, exercising taste, and maintaining a consistent brand identity. This change also raises important questions for the advertising industry. If AI can produce hundreds of variations quickly, what should clients pay agencies for? Is an agency's value based on production hours or on strategic insight, creative judgment, brand stewardship, and responsibility for results? These are the kind of questions we hope this special issue will address. AI is not only changing how quickly advertising is produced, it is changing where creative value comes from, which capabilities matter, and how advertising work should be organized and rewarded.
Okay, it's my turn, right? All right. First, for this is JAR special issue, we are interested in the research on how creative work is performed in the age of AI. What we really want is not the simple question like, is the AI more creative than the human? Instead, we do like ask how AI is changing the creative process and how human and AI can work together to create the better advertising. But first, you can consider ideation and a co-creation. I just found a research study published in the Journal of Creative. The title of this article is The Authentic Gap, Why Generate AI Cannot Replicate Human Creativity. This article provides a very useful starting point. This suggests that AI may approach human performance in terms of originality and effectiveness and partially in the aesthetics. However, human creativity is typically grounded in their personal experiences, like autobiographical experiences, self-identity, and value, and humans' judgment. Meanwhile, AI can develop through the statistical learning and a large scale of a computational data set. So AI will be able to simulate this human-like quality, but it does not experience them directly. So this does not mean that AI cannot create value advertising. Instead, it means the human and AI creativity come from just a different foundation, I think. So AI can generate many ideas, connected, distant concept, and expand the space of a possible ideas. The human creator, the marketing area, and advertising industry provide experiences with cultural understanding and meaning and a judgment. However, more ideas do not always lead to better creativity. AI may help creative teams explore new direction, but its easier suggest only suggestion may also limited their thinking. The more important research question is how should we combine the different strengths of the human and AI across an advertising creative process? More specifically, where does human judgment add the most value? Like in defining the problem, selecting the idea, interpreting the brand personality, the culture, and then make the final decision. Second of all, you can consider asset production and a scale. AI can produce very polished concept, copy, and image and video, audio quickly at very low cost, right? But what is gained and lost when finished creative is generated rather than the creativity. So efficiency may increase, but the craftsmanship and the psychological ownership and brand distinctiveness may be declining. Last but not least, you can consider personalization. AI allow advertisers to produce thousands of tailored messages, but when does tailored creative outperform the strong and the culture distinct campaign idea? So the conclusion is personalization may improve immediate relevance while fragmented brand voice and reduced shared cultural the impact. So we encourage author to conduct research on how consumers evaluate AI generated advertising across originality, effectiveness, aesthetics, and authenticity, right? And second, a research area moved from the how creative work is performed to how it is organized and valued. General AI is not only changing the creative output, it also changing the professional roles, agency, client relationships, and standardized used in the judge creative quality. Let me briefly talk a bit about each layer. First of all, you can think about creative talent. Which role and skill will be automated and augmented and newly created. At the same time, AI may increase the volume of problem definition, culture interpretation, curation, and judgment, ethical judgment, right? So one important question is whether AI help creative professional improve their skill, make them depend too much on the technology. So for example, AI may help junior member of a creative boutique or ad agency creative team produce better work in a very short period of time. But if they depend too much on AI, they may not fully develop their own idea and creative skill. So the good research idea or new opportunity for research project must keep up with examining which creative professional benefit from AI and which human skill become more important and how advertising agency must hire and train and evaluate a member of their creative teams. And we can think about the agency and client relationship. I think that this issue is very important in the ad industry. AI can lower production cost and allow ad agency to develop more idea before the pitch presentation. But the more alternative generated by AI may not lead to better decision. The client may expect faster work and a more version of it under this little low product cost. But they tend to underestimate the strategic decision required to judge and evaluate AI outcome. So this raises a very important research question about how collaboration and intellectual property and accountability will changes, right? Last but not least, we need to reconsider creative standard. How should originality, brand distinctiveness, craftsmanship, creative quality be judged when AI can quickly produce the well-made and policy advertising? So AI may increase the number of output while reducing difference across agency and the campaign. So good research question must compare product-based standards like novelty, effectiveness, or aesthetic quality along with process-based standard, including human attention and craftsmanship, authenticity, and so on. So for this special issue of JAR, we welcome research that explain not only how AI changed creative production, but also who created value and who received the value and who remain responsible for the final advertising output. Third, for JAR special issue, we are interested in the research on how creative work is evaluated and measures. We want to move beyond another simple question. Does AI generate advertising perform better than human created advertising? No, instead, we need to study the creative performance at the different level and different period of time. You can keep in mind how do you evaluate creativity at the large scale. AI can produce tons of thousands of agents and variation, but it creates the new measurement problem. So how can we evaluate AI generate advertising originality or diversity across the large number of ads? If many brands use the same AI model like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Google Gemini, Nano Banana, well, their advertising may start to look, sounds very similar, right? So future research for this special issue must examine whether AI created, different idea and simply produce many different versions. And you can come up with or suggest a new measurement item for AI generate creative measurement scale. And another consideration is short-term effectiveness. What that means is AI generate and a personalized advertising may quickly improve attention, human clicks, and immediate brand responses. These output and outcomes are very important for advertising professional, but higher click-through rate does not always means the consumers remember your brand or understand its messaging. So author for special issue for JAR must examine, the audience attention, cognitive thing, behavioral measure like a click-through rate, engagement things, memory, etc. Rather than depending on one simple KPI in the measure. Last but not least, you can consider long-term brand value. So consumers may respond to the each different individual ad while becoming less certain about what the brand represents. So this create very important things. So the question like what improves short-term performance may weaken the long-term brand value. This kind of real trade-off. So future research must examine when scale and personalization support brand distinctiveness, consistency, and brand equity, and when they slow reduce the item. So for this special issue, we are really welcome any good research that connected the immediate advertising performance with the long-term brand outcome. So that's what we really want, right? All right. So when it comes to the strong submission, let me first clarify what they meant by qualification and what we expected from the high quality paper for the specialist of JAR. Qualification refers to the fit and quality of this manuscript. As you see, JAR serves both a scholar and the very practitioners. So strong submission should advance advertising knowledge while providing a useful practical guideline for advertising professional. With this in mind, let me highlight a couple of quality of a strong submission. First of all is your study must make a clear contribution to the advertising theory. It's not enough to simply showcase is the AI generated advertising produce real different consumer responses like purchase intention. Instead, you can explain what the finding will tell us about advertising creativity, persuasion theory, branding management, media platform, and the consumer behavior literature. Second of all, the study must explain why and when the expected impact will take the place. So we are interested in the very clear psychological mechanism. So we also welcome meaningful boundary condition. That effect depends on certain situation, target audience or consumers, personal trait. They'd be great, right? And third of all, the research must address important advertising problem. As it's not the AI in general. The question should concern the advertising strategy, creative work, and brand communication, and consumers' behavior in a real different domain. So AI definitely help us understand the advertising problem is more deeply. Finally, your research study must lead to very useful decisions. So what should the advertising agency do really differently? So practical implication must be very specific enough to guide ad agency, brand manager, platform, and content creator, and etc. Um, in short, we are looking for research that theoretically meaningful and mathematically strong and useful to advertising practices. This is our last thing. So let me briefly talk a bit about the methodology and evidence for this special issue. Our priority is not the number of study; it's just quality. It's a very theoretical and advanced. So strong research paper must offer new important insight into advertising. So we welcome the many research approaches, including experiment study, field study, computational study, qualitative in-depth study, um, mixed method design, and even conceptual papers. So we do not prefer one method simply because AI, the future of the creative, the phenomena is so complicated, right? So method must fit into the your research question that allow us to test their main idea very clearly, right? So multiple study, multiple method, longitudinal, another forms of combined evidence may make your submission more competitive, right? So for example, experiment can identify causal effect and the field data can showcases whether it is occurs practical. What about in-depth interview? In-depth interview will be able to explain how advertising professional experiences using AI for their creative work, right? So our principle is very simple. Strength and scope of the evidence must match the strength of the scope of our claim, right? So taken together, we are looking for the very meaningful theoretical and mathematical advance supported by the evidence. So in this way, you are going to make the pretty good quality of the papers, right? But this is you just keep in mind that well, some of the research paper may not less likely fit into our scope. First of all, just technical AI research is less likely to fit into our special issue. So, for example, any study that only compare algorithm or you know LLM model accuracy or develop a new AI system or test the technical performance are usually just close to the computer science rather than advertising research. Please make sure that your study definitely make the contribution to the advertising and marketing communication theory and the practices, okay? Second of all, some of the descriptive discussion of AI trend may not be enough without clear theoretical implication or empirical contribution, right? But I just want to make sure that conceptual papers is always welcome, but they should develop a new concept and they try to challenge the existing consumption or connect existing theory in a more useful way, right? So in this way, your conceptual paper will be able to offer very clear proposition under this very meaningful future research agenda. Finally, simple comparison between AI generated and human created advertising may be less competitive. Strong research should explain why the difference take place. The when it becomes stronger or weaker, and why is really matter for advertising phenomena, right? So we are looking for the paper that use AI to address a very important advertising creative problem, make the meaningful theoretical contribution, and provide evidence that supported the strengths and claim. So if your research can do these things while offering the useful guideline for the active practices, we strongly encourage you, the author, to submit to the JAR spatial issue, right? Youngin, would you like to talk a bit about our upcoming schedule?
Okay, sure. This submission, we have a connected but separate procedure. First one is the conference itself. If you click on the slide, it shows the Global Marketing Conference website, and it indicates everything about the submission. So if you go to the submission website, you can submit by clicking on this button. So GMC, normally the deadline is January 15, 2027. There can be also an extension, but this is a standard deadline for the conference. And the conference will be held in Tokyo next year, July 22nd to 25th. And after the conference, JAR special issue submission window will be open from September 1st to October 15th, 2027. And presentation at the conference is encouraged, but it's not required. It means that even if you do not present at the conference, you can still submit your paper to this special issue. But the conference presentation will be encouraged. So if you have a good piece of paper, then I would encourage you to visit Tokyo to present your paper and see lots of scholars and colleagues who has a similar kind of interest in the topic. And we will have a standard kind of review process. So after your submission, we will do we will have this through the review. We will have a decision like desk reject, and major revision and minor revision and conditional acceptance and the final acceptance. That will be a normal kind of procedure for the JAR submission. So if you have any questions regarding the conference or your paper fit, then just let us know by email me or email to Tae Hyun. Then we will respond to your questions as soon as possible. Okay. Then why don't we move to the general discussion, question and answers. My final emphasis regarding the submission is your paper should definitely have a implication for advertising industry, especially for the creative industry. That is my final emphasis. Tae Hyun, do you have any emphasis for the submission?
Well, like I said, maybe you can think about the how define the good quality of the papers, right? I mean, we are really looking forward to any research with a very, strong conceptual foundation that are relevant to the our special issue topic like AI and advertising creativity. So, like I said before, some of the very AI-oriented technical paper is less like a fit to their scope. So even if you can use any AI-related topic like ad agency or anything like it, but the our main purpose is how your research finding contribute to the advertising knowledge, theory, and practices. So this is very important. So maybe some people think about AI might be considered as a pretty good productive tool or a little bit mechanical thing. I think that is totally fine. Above and beyond that, you can think about how AI and human can work together to pretty good advertising industry performance much better. So you can think about the fit into our scope of advertising. This is what I really emphasize in the last week.
Mhm.
So at this time, I'm looking at the any Q&A chat box, but unfortunately, there's no message right now.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the overview and the detailed advice that you provided as well too, Yung Kyun and Tae. And yeah, if anyone has any questions that they'd like to ask right now, feel free to use the Q&A box in Zoom. Um, Otherwise, yeah, and a great overview, and I think you did a really nice job, Tay, of describing what it is we're looking for. So definitely those implications for industry, and definitely a strong, evidence base that practitioners, when they're reading this, can look at the insights and really trust that those are things they can, take and actually action right away as well too.
No questions?
You did such a great job. It's so clear. It's good. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I can't wait to see you all in the GMC in Tokyo next year. So I hope that I just find it. Hey, yeah, Casey King, she just talked to okay. Thank you to all the guest editor for such an informative and helpful webinar. I really enjoyed the discussion. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Casey.
See you in Tokyo next year.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for providing such a great overview, and we'll get this up on YouTube as well too for anybody who wants to look at it again, or people who may not have been able to attend today. And again, thank you for being willing to answer questions you might have. They can always shoot you emails. And the nice thing is that we've got a nice long runway. We've got a year until the submission, so lots of time to go through and work on the great papers that people might have ideas around.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you as well
Colin,
too.
for organizing this webinar. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Colin.
guest editing the special shoot. Yes.
You also, right?
You too. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your
Bye.
day. Bye.
Bye.